This keeps getting crazier as Mitchell Robinson has had another injury update amidst the Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle trade swap, also including Donte DiVincenzo. And this explains so much to why the New York Knicks did this trade. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video. As we all know by now, Karl Anthony Towns is on the New York Knicks. He was traded to the Knicks along with no one else, but the Knicks gave up Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a first-round pick. Now, that siren was probably for me last night. I was having a spaz attack about that trade. I still don't love it for the Knicks. I don't know how either team benefited off this, though it's growing on me, I'll be honest, but another time, another place for that. Guys, Mitchell Robinson has gotten another injury update, and this is not good, but it does explain why the New York Knicks felt a sense of urgency to go out and trade for Karl Anthony Towns. Brian Windhorst revealed something scary. As Windhorst mentioned, the Knicks' problems started at center, specifically their lack of a starting one without Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks built a wall around the extent of the starter Mitchell Robinson's foot problem. Leon Rose and his administration have been good at keeping secrets, which helped the Knicks not lose leverage in these very trade talks, as he put it. But internally, New York is planning for Robinson to be out at least 3 months or more. It could be more, but no one knows for sure. Isaiah Hartenstein, who's obviously gone. It leaves the Knicks at a dangerously thin center rotation, even with Mitch out still and Karl Anthony Towns in. The New York Knicks are really relying on Towns as the one center, a man who's been playing power forward the last few seasons. Karl Anthony Towns will be the center for the Knicks in the first few games of the season. Obviously, there will be Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims to back him up. The center position has had some healing done to it, and the Knicks, they have a big lineup. Like, they have Mikal, they have OG Anunoby, they have Josh Hart. They got guys who can play the power forward spot or the backup power forward spot, while OG's the starting power forward for the first few months until Robinson comes back, and then we're going to figure that out. But obviously, guys, this adds another layer to why Mitchell Robinson, or why the New York Knicks have made this trade, and it is because Mitchell Robinson might be out for even longer than that. It's not exactly clear how long Mitchell Robinson's going to be out, because it's very clear one thing, that the New York Knicks want Robinson to be fully healthy. As Ian Begley mentioned, as far as Mitchell Robinson, he's not going to be ready for the start of the season. As we all know, the Knicks and Robinson don't want to rush the rehab process and are targeting a December-January return date. Robinson and the Knicks are being cautious this time around, and they want to make sure he's 100% healthy before he gets back. New York's confident in the depth and versatility of the roster until Robinson returns. Now it makes sense why they were so comfortable with it. They knew they were trading for Karl Anthony Towns. Guys, there's no way that this Karl Anthony Towns thing came out of left field. I mentioned that it was about to happen on the live stream last night, and I said the trade was going to happen, or I said the Knicks were going to make a trade. It was probably going to be for Karl Anthony Towns. It was certainly going to involve Julius Randle, and that absolutely happened just 3 hours after the live stream ended, which, you know, obviously unfortunate timing. I tried to hold out for you guys, but I only had so much time. Guys, the New York Knicks now have Karl Anthony Towns and are a much different team than they were last year or the year before that. Things have changed in New York a lot. There's no more Julius Randle. There's no more Donte DiVincenzo, who had a short-lived Knicks career, though it was great. And now there's Karl Anthony Towns. Now, we're not going to go into that much because we've talked about this a lot. Let's be honest, we're going to keep talking about it as time goes on. But Mitchell Robinson being out does explain the Knicks' sense of urgency to go and get Towns. Towns can play the center, and the Knicks are comfortable having OG guard big men. And something to note here. I understand Karl Anthony Towns has not been a great defender. The defense has improved. He's gotten to be a better defender than he used to be, and the reputation is... It's not fully untrue, but he's gotten better at defense as time has went along. Here's the thing with Towns, guys. He doesn't love being the center, but he also doesn't have to guard a ton of skilled centers. The Western Conference has better centers than the Eastern Conference does. Yes, Joel Embiid is in the Eastern Conference. He is an MVP, all-time great scorer as a big man. Joel Embiid's great, very skilled center. Can you guys name another truly, really skilled center in the Eastern Conference? One that comes to mind for me is Porzingis, who's out till January, the same time as Mitchell Robinson. Next one that comes to mind, Bam Adebayo. I'm not counting Giannis as a center for this because regardless, OG is just going to guard Giannis. And also, you never guard Giannis one-on-one to begin with. And the Trailblazers, I'm thinking of Damian Lillard. The Bucks are bad. They're just bad. They're not very good this year. I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks have it anymore. I think their window is completely shut unless Giannis does something absolutely unreal, which he can do. He's one of the best players on the planet. But there's not many skilled big men in the Eastern Conference that Cat's going to struggle to guard. Yeah, Bam is talented, for sure. But he's mainly a defender and a rebounder. Yes, he has good offense. There's a reason why he puts up around 18 points per game. He has a good mid-range shot. He can put the ball on the floor. He's a solid passer. He's not so skilled as a big that Towns is not going to be able to guard him. That's not going to happen. Towns is a lot bigger than Bam. He'll be fine. It's just Embiid that we're really worrying about, which isn't that big of a deal if Mitchell Robinson's going to come back for the playoffs, because who cares? Yeah, maybe the Knicks will go out there and they'll lose to the 76ers in a game or two, and 76ers fans will be thrilled because they'll finally win against the New York Knicks. It doesn't matter because it's the playoffs, and we know Paul George is going to fall off a cliff anyway. Coming for you, Sean. Sean Bernard, shout out, Sixers Digest. And just with the way that they've decided to go about this Karl Anthony Towns trade, it does make sense that the Knicks did want to add more big men. It explains why they weren't going for anyone too hard in the free agent market. I was going to say in the trade market, but they absolutely did. They went for Towns. But we saw so many other options of just role-playing guys who had high upside, if it's Jalen Duren or Walker Kessler or Isaiah Stewart. And we also saw the Nick Richards stuff, which I guess now is probably not going to happen. Still could. I just don't see the Knicks trading for Nick Richards, which is unfortunate because I'm a big Nick Richards supporter. But it is what it is. It's fine. The New York Knicks are going to be better than they were with Towns instead of having Julius Randle in the start of the season, because the Knicks, Towns is more of a center. Like, that's it. The Knicks needed a big man. They went out there, got the third most skilled big man in the NBA, fourth. Yeah, Wemby's over Towns. They got the fourth most skilled big man in the NBA. Great offensive player. I know it sounds like I've turned a complete corner. I haven't. I still don't know if the Knicks should have made this trade. I don't love this trade still. It still bothers me. But I'm coming around to it, and especially when considering Mitchell Robinson, it's very unclear when he's going to be back. That's worrisome. Now, Mitch is better than what his stats show, but he put up 5.5 points per game with 8.5 rebounds, blocked a shot, got a steal per game, obviously was hindered by the injuries. His numbers were better before he went down with the injury, and he's the best offensive rebounder in basketball. Now, something else to mention here is that Karl Anthony Towns does a lot of good things. Now, defense is not one of them, but he does put up 22 points per game, something that'll probably rise with the Knicks because he'll get more opportunities to shoot the ball. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, super skilled, 41% from 3. I actually think that's going to go up also because playing with Jalen Brunson's a better playmaker than Anthony Edwards is, so I think that is going to help Towns' game a lot. Towns and Edwards were just not on the same page a lot of the time when they were playing, despite the fact that they seemed to enjoy playing with each other. Specifically, Towns seemed to enjoy playing with Anthony Edwards. But looking at this, yeah, the Knicks needed to go out there and get a big man, and they got one who could shoot. They did get to do the 5-out system that they've wanted to do now to try to beat the Celtics, become the anti-Celtics. I don't know if being a counteracting team is the move here. You should have your own identity so you're not constantly adapting to others, and the Knicks obviously will. Tom Thibodeau preaches identity and accountability on the defensive end, which is what worries me about this Towns trade. But Mitch will be back, and when Mitch is back, Towns is going to be able to be hidden on defense, and then things change. You have Towns guarding some shooter. He just stands on the perimeter and shoots. Towns' perimeter defense is not as bad as many people think. So we're going to see how this works out, obviously, guys. It is insane that the Knicks went out there and did this trade last night. Why do they do trades so late at night? I'm never home when this happens. So annoying. Got to film a video on 12th Street and 1st Avenue. I had to catch a train, man. But yeah, obviously the New York Knicks, they made a splash. Things are different around here. Mitchell Robinson being out, this explains everything, why it was going to happen. The Knicks needed more depth at the big man position, decide, hey, let's go out there. We obviously have an all-star, all-NBA player in Julius Randle. Let's go out there and get a guy who's way more comfortable at being a center, who probably fits this team a little bit better also. So, understandably so, it makes sense a lot more seeing all this Mitch stuff come up. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about this. Like this, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great Saturday, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go Knicks. I'm going to go test out some cat on my league.